Shalom, this is part 3. I did mention that this year I'd bring up Micah 5:2. Micah 5:2 is talking about the Messiah. Micah 5:2, but thou Bethlehem EPHRATHITE, this is the Bethlehem in Judah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, clearly see, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be rule of Israel. This is talking about the Messiah, Yahushua, whose going forths have been from old, from everlasting. Yahushua did not just pop up in the New Testament. His goings forths have been from the very beginning. He was the first of creation. His spirit was the first thing that was created, and it created everything else. Let me get that. What was it again? Was it Colossians? Check out Colossians 1. For some reason I'm thinking of Colossians or Philippians. Yeah, it's Colossians 1:15 through 17. Who is the image of the invisible God being Yahweh, the firstborn of every creature. Verse 16, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Verse 17, and he is before all things, by him all things consist. Yahushua was the first thing made, and Yahweh made Yahushua, and Yahushua created everything else. That's why it says he's the only begotten of the Father. Because really Yahweh created Yahushua made everything else. For example, in Genesis 1, it was Yahushua alongside other spirits, angels, that created everything. Yahweh gave them the instruction and they followed it to a T. But yeah, I'm just going off topic there, but the reason why I brought the Bible to back it up, because the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 5, look, I don't need to go off topic, it's one of my weak points. Well, Micah 5:2 is talking about the Messiah, and this website, Apologetics Press, they get it right. When you check out this paragraph here, it says one particularly striking prophecy was uttered by the prophet Micah, who lived and prophesied in the 8th century BC. He articulated a very specific, exact reference to the place of Christ's birth, the Messiah's birthplace. But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth to me the one to be rule in Israel, whose going forths are from old, from everlasting. He's quoting Micah 5:2 there. This prophecy is remarkable on at least two counts. First, the fact that anyone could predict the precise city where a ruler would be born centuries later is unsurpassed in ordinary human experience. Brother, sir, it's called prophecies. A charlatan would be leaving himself wide open to be discredited. Physics, palm readers, spiritualists, and faith healers of today are very careful to maintain ambiguity and to keep their words sufficiently vague, unclear, as to allow for adjustment, evasion, and multiple explanation. If you point a specific city, specificity, oh goodness, specificity is specific. Sorry, it's like a tongue twist to me. It's basically being exact on a level that is not comparable in its own right. And then he shows you this little map that the brother used in the video. Basically, in the land of Israel, you've got a Bethlehem in the land of Judah and one close to Nazareth in Zebulun. This one's in Zebulun, this one's in Judah. One's of the southern kingdom, the other one's of the northern kingdom. And the Bethlehem in Judah is where the Messiah was born. Boaz redeemed Mahlon, the husband of Ruth, who had died. He was an Ephrathite, And by EPHRATHITE, I'm talking about one who lived in Bethlehem, Judah. Just to get that in Ruth 1. A certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons, verse 2. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion, EPHRATHITE of Bethlehem, Judah. Again, let's just see Bethlehem, Judah again. Bethlehem, house of bread. City in Judah, birthplace of David, a place in Zebulun. Now shown you on the map, the one in Zebulun and the one in Judah. EPHRATHITE. An inhabitant of Bethlehem. And it's talking about here an inhabitant of Bethlehem, Judah. There was a particular part of Bethlehem, Judah that you had Judites living. For example, Elimelech and his 2 sons. And Boaz redeemed Mahlon. Was, what do you call it? Basically, he redeemed his near-kins and the land that was sold, which was Bethlehem, Judah. Go to Ruth 4. Boaz will redeem Ruth, the marriage of Ruth. Ruth 4:9. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, Ye are witnesses this day that I bought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Chalion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Verse 10. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead, Mahlon, upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. So yeah, he redeemed his kinsmen and bought back the land that was sold, that Elimelech sold. And with what was done, that allowed Obed to be born, which in turn allowed Jesse to be born, then David, and so on, all the way to the Messiah. And again, you see those names in the Messiah's line fathers. That's why when you check out Matthew 1, the King James Version, you see what? Ruth 4:18 through 22 in the cross-reference. There you go. Circle. Now to get Isaiah 11:10, you see the term root of Jesse there. This is a scripture I've brought out in many times in the past. Right, Isaiah 11:10, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people, a beacon of the people, to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. The root of Jesse is talking about Messiah, ensign for the people, to which shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And then it goes to mention who these Gentiles are. It's talking about Israelites. Confess among the Gentiles, be scattered among them. Isaiah 11:11. It talks about the members of the elect that are going to come out of captivity, being gathered out of where everything be scattered. Matthew 24:29-31. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people which shall be left. And this is talking about the elect. From Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign from the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. That's who the Gentiles were. That's the Gentiles it was talking about. The outcasts of Israel. and gather together the dispersed is talking about scattered, of Judah from the four corners of the earth. A precept to that, Matthew 24:29-31. Matthew 24:29-31 does talk about the glorious return of the Messiah. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, will be Jacob's trouble. Right, immediately after Jacob's trouble, because Yahushua, when he comes with his return, he's going to cut Jacob's trouble short. Shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man come in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And a precept to that is Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, they also which pierced him, and all kings of the earth shall wail because of him, the Son of Man. Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. Elect means chosen from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. I can go into, if the Lord wills, I can go into like 5 or 10 other topics, but you know, this video part series has gone on long enough. Elect, Eklektos, G15:18 is to do with the choosing, picked out, chosen by God to obtain salvation through Hamashiach. Yeah. Elect according to the pre-knowledge of God the Father. I mean, okay, now I'm going to go off topic. Romans 15:12. Which quotes Isaiah 11:10. And again, Isaiah is Isaiah. Isaiah said, there shall be a root of Jesse, and he that shall rise to reign over the Gentiles, in him shall the Gentiles trust. Now the Gentiles in Romans 15 are talking about Israelite foreigners. I've done a video on my BitChute channel, I think a few years ago on this. The Gentiles in Romans 15 explained. I think it was a 2-part video series, or maybe a 3-part. I'm in the UK, so because of the increased censorship in the UK, BitChute is making it harder for those in the UK to watch videos on BitChute or produce content and all. Basically, I can see the comments via my Gmail, but I can't click on my own videos and see it on BitChute. I'll show you what I mean. I'm in the UK, United Kingdom, England and all. See, guys, for those of you in America and other countries, this is what I've been getting. And if you're in the UK, you probably got this too. Something like this. After careful review and ongoing evaluation of the regulatory rights and basic of the laws in the United Kingdom, we regret to inform you that BitChute will be discontinuing its video fair sharing. Basically, BitChute will stop for UK, those who live in the UK. I live in the UK, so it's basically, yeah, you can't use this anymore. Which sucks, because BitChute was a good platform for videos. YouTube is more censored. Maybe I need to open up a Rumble account. Daily Motion with their BS deactivating of channels, because that's what happened to one of my channels that got deactivated. It was so annoying. Part of my anger. But yeah, now you know why. I can upload content still, but I can't check out any video. I can't even check out a video about the weather or, I don't know, Teletubbies. I can't go on BitChute and say Teletubbies. I can't check out even stuff about the eating of cake. I can't even watch a video about sunny days or whatever, the sweetest, lightest topics ever. Because they're going to stop their video. Basically, they're going to stop the usage of their site for those in the UK. Genesis 35:19. Rachel died in Bethlehem, Judah. So yeah, that land is spoken of throughout the scriptures. It's important in terms of the lineage of the Messiah, David, Jesse, and so on, as well as the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Genesis 35:19. Rachel died, was buried in the way to EPHRATHITE, which is Bethlehem. Hopefully, this video part series is edifying.